There's a classic holiday movie that you are probably missing out on.
It's the holiday season.
So whoop-de-doo and a dickory-dock.
And I don't know about you, but my favorite holiday tradition is watching Christmas and holiday movies for that warm, festive spirit. And I'm always on the hunt for more good ones. There are a lot of holiday movies out there, but when you're not looking for rom-coms, that list gets surprisingly smaller.
Especially if you don't count Lifetime movies.
I love a good non-traditional holiday movie. I love movies like Scrooge, that is a twist on a classic. Or Christmas with the Cranks, which is about a family trying to skip Christmas, and it's like the whole holiday's out to get them for it. Or Jingle All the Way. Probably my all-time favorite Christmas movie, if I'm being honest, that really leans into the ridiculous culture of chasing down a super popular toy right before the holidays. So we get this crazy, wacky, action-packed family film that I just as happily watch in August. That's saying a lot coming from me. So if you're like me and you love movies like that, I have good news for you. You might be missing out on a great non-romantic holiday movie from the early 2000s with all the festive spirit, an underdog, and holiday magic.
I'd say that's really specific, but that is an accurate description for a lot of good holiday movies. Weird.
But I get the feeling I'll need to prove to you that this is even a holiday movie. So how do we do that? Well, as a writer, my answer to that is to visit a little website called Screencraft, who has a semi-official holiday movie checklist. Check most or all of these boxes, and you have a certified holiday classic on your hands.
There's a checklist for this?
So, what's on this checklist, you might ask?
Well, that's almost what I asked.
They list 7 essential elements for a great holiday movie, including nostalgia, magic, family, atmosphere, holiday tropes and cliches, hope and redemption. And I'm here to prove to you that Full Court Miracle, a 2003 Disney Channel Hanukkah movie, checks all those boxes. Yes, that's right, a Hanukkah movie. We sure don't have too many of those, I'll tell you. In fact, I'd argue this is the best Hanukkah movie ever made.
Also because when we Googled Hanukkah movies, the list was so short we didn't even have to scroll.
I know not a lot of people will go looking for Hanukkah movie if they're not Jewish. But as sung in this movie,
So come on over, even if you're not kosher.
This is a very multicultural movie and doesn't expect you to be Jewish to enjoy and relate to it. I mean, it's about a group of boys from Hebrew school's basketball team who meet an African-American pro basketball player down on his luck who coaches them. Not to mention the main character's best friend from another school, Julie, who's Latina, comes to all the basketball games at the Hebrew school.
Yeah, even though the team is terrible, that's a good friend.
So first things first, Full Court Miracle. What is it and how is it the best holiday movie you've probably never seen that should go on your must-watch list this year? This is the story of Alex Schlotsky, or Schlotz, the 5-foot Jewish 14-year-old who dreams of being a professional basketball player one day, on a team that has lost their last 20 games. And for once, he just wants his team to win. Then one day, he comes to his teacher, who was just teaching his class about Judah and the Maccabees. He says his team needs a Judah, someone who would show up and help bring them to victory. His teacher challenges him and says, will you know this Judah when you see him? And then the team meets Lamont Carr, a professional basketball player, just shooting hoops at the park. They quickly decide this must be the miracle Judah they were looking for. Hijinks ensue. Is that a wacky enough premise for you? Sure is for me.
Yeah, they thought it was the ghost of Judah Maccabee. I guess Hanukkah wanted its own ghost story. I mean, Charles Dickens gave 3 ghosts to Christmas in A Christmas Carol. It's only fair.
Also, if I may geek out about some of the actors for a moment, we've got Max Keeble from Max Keeble's Big Move, Manny Santos from Degrassi, and a young Maddie from 13 Going on 30. Maddie was the best character for that movie by far. I will take no arguments about it.
I feel like most people would agree, but only because of Mark Ruffalo.
So back to the 7 elements of a great holiday movie.
Oh, right. I forgot there was a point to this.
Element 1, nostalgia. Screencraft defines nostalgia's element as making the audience feel like kids again. Even if it's about adult themes and stories, it's familiar and relatable. Even if you're not Jewish, I think I can argue that Full Court Miracle is nostalgic. It's set in what feels like a homey yet bustling suburban area, where you see small shops and spend a lot of time in park basketball courts, with a cast of characters that make you feel like you're back in early high school with a group of friends. Most of them even have nicknames. There's Alex Schlotz, there's Stick because he's the tall, skinny kid in the group, there's Joker, who is constantly cracking wise. These kids are always together, and you can feel nostalgic about being a kid through the way they talk. They scheme ways to raise money, talk about their dream of winning their basketball tournament in a way that only a kid can so deeply want something that all the adults in their lives keep saying is silly. Alex especially is the dreamer of the group, and I know in me specifically, it always brings out the dreamer side of me. I think it's all very nostalgic to believe so much in things that seem silly. Even believing that a basketball player might be the ghost of Judah Maccabee. And yes, for a while there, that's actually a thing in the movie the kids wonder about, if he is the ghost of Judah Maccabee. You know, like kids do. But more on that mishigosh later.
Mishigosh is Yiddish for silly nonsense. This whole video is mishigosh. Did I use that right, Lexi? I think I did.
Element 2. Magic. This is a pretty down-to-earth story on its face, but they bring in the element of holiday magic more than you'd ever expect in this little basketball movie. It manages to not get religious about it, but instead bring in the history of Hanukkah itself in a magical thematic way that is perfect for a holiday movie. And maybe a little bit campy. The boys meet Lamont Carr right when Alex is looking for their Judah Maccabee, aka their angel to help them win a basketball tournament. So when they meet Lamont Carr, coincidence upon coincidence comes up to make him seem like he could be the literal ghost of Judah Maccabee. From his 4 brothers to his license plate number to his sports nickname being the Hammer, they do disprove him being the actual ghost of Judah Maccabee eventually. So that part is just kids having their imaginations run wild with them. But there is real magic in this movie later on. Near the end of the movie, they compare the mythos of burning oil for 8 days straight on 1 day's worth of oil. The power goes out in the middle of their championship game, so in order to have light, their generator must run on very little fuel. What they thought would only be a few minutes turned out to run for much longer than the fuel should have been able to, long enough for the team to reach victory.
Wow, they took Hanukkah really literally with that one. But I guess they pulled off the whole miracle of light thing. Very on theme.
Element 3. Family. This movie may be about a basketball tournament, but it's also deeply about family in a lot of ways. Alex is consistently at odds with his mother in this movie about basketball. He loves nothing more than making his way down the court with the ball in his hand, and everything else seems to disappear. But his mother thinks basketball is a waste of his time. She very strongly tries to steer him into becoming a doctor. Alex is 14, by the way. She's being very aggressive about his future being at risk. And this is a core conflict throughout the film, where they butt heads over if he should even be on the team, especially when it seems like it might hurt Alex's grades. It's also about family because of a core part of Lamont's story. It's how he is separated from his wife and kid while he's chasing his dream. Element 4. Atmosphere. During multiple parts of the movie, they reference the Maccabees through the history class, and they show nights of Hanukkah lighting the menorah and opening presents. And Christmas or no Christmas, it has the cozy vibes. They even invite Lamont Carr to a special Jewish meal about halfway through the movie that made me crave gefilte fish and horseradish and chopped liver.
Don't knock it till you've tried it.
Element 5. Holiday tropes and cliches. In other words, did it use familiar archetypes to make it feel cozy and easy to relate to? On Screencraft's website, they're sure to mention that things like this don't need to be a bad thing. And in fact, in a holiday movie, they're comfort food in a story. And you can easily see some of those tropes on display. We have a main character who has a dream who will do anything to make it happen. And we have a strict parent who only wants what's best for the kid and goes against everything he wants in that dream for his benefit. We have the trope of the strict yet entertaining teacher who keeps trying to catch the kids in their schemes, Mrs. Klein. She may not be super original, but she's a lot of fun as she chases the boys and Lamont, being suspicious of their every move.
Yes, Mrs. Klein is not as sneaky as she thinks she is.
Element 6. Hope. The movie hinges on hope and miracles. The whole movie is about this underdog basketball team and Lamont Carr, a man living in his van because he has hope that things will change for the better if he just holds out long enough. Only to find out that his hope really lies with this team he's been helping. Just kind of funny considering what happened was Alex just walked up to a random stranger on the park and just sort of argued his way into having a coach. He did not want to help them in the first place. He just sort of put up with them because they were paying him. And over time ended up liking them. It took a lot of Alex just being a nudge. And finally, the element of redemption. Many characters are flawed in this movie, but specifically 3 characters royally mess up and get redeemed by the end of the movie. Alex, the main character, takes his frustrations out on Julie when he gets benched because his grades slipped. He takes them out on his mom for not understanding his dreams. So they get into a fight that lasts for days. And he takes them out on Lamont when he finds out he'll be leaving the team for a 10-day trial spot on the pro team he's been waiting for. But I'd argue in 2 of those situations, the fight was two-way. Julie legitimately did nothing wrong. But Alex's mom really wasn't hearing him out and was just as much in the wrong and needed redemption, and got it in the end. Same for Lamont Carr, who was so focused on what he thought he wanted that he was being selfish and not even getting what he wanted deep down anymore. He was getting a lot out of helping these kids. I don't think he even realized how much. In the end, Alex has a heart-to-heart with his mom, so they understood each other better. She understood that she needs to let him be his own person, rather than doing exactly what worked for her growing up, to be a doctor. And Lamont Carr had to come back to the team with his wife and his kid and take the job at the school that they kept offering him as a permanent coach, realizing that this was the thing he wants now, and they do need him. So those are the 7 elements of a holiday movie. And I think Full Court Miracle has them all covered. Next time you're on the lookout for a solid holiday movie, but don't want to watch the same thing as you've seen every year, I submit to you Full Court Miracle, the Hanukkah movie for everyone.
You were right. It actually does check all the boxes.
And genuinely, the character Alex is such a fun character to me. I've always been very attached. He's so fun as a character because he's very well known for pulling a schlotz when he'll do something crazy, like walk up to a complete stranger, twice his size, and challenge him to a pickup game, and then ask him to be the team's coach, and then later follow him to see if he's secretly a ghost. And he's even more well known for being incredibly hard to argue with, and full of schemes. The movie jokes repeatedly that he should be a lawyer. He can talk his way out of just about anything. And knowing me, if I really love a character, it's probably because I either already have a character of my own a lot like them, or I'm about to. And in this case, I already have one. Eli's about to get very excited because I haven't brought this project up yet before.
Oh, yes. Talk about the thing. Oh my God, talk about the thing.
I have a very similar character to Alex in my project Vivid Nonsense, where the main character, Robin, is always finding his way into and out of trouble.
Vivid Mishigosh.
Of course, in this case, his story has less to do with ghosts and a miracle of light, and a lot more to do with dreams. A strange black goo that seems to bring his nightmares to life. That's just episode 1, though. But I'll get more into that another time soon. Anyway, back to the movie.
No, talk about the thing. Guys, you don't understand. This is the coolest thing she's ever come up with, and I can't get her to just make a video on it. And she's already got a full script for the first episode. It's not fair.
This movie is a classic little holiday movie that has all the ingredients and elements of any holiday movie. And I'd love for more people to give it a try. I mean, Hanukkah deserves a good story too. And this is kind of our best one. We could also use just more of them. I mean, with the whole 8 days thing, I feel like it should be really easy to structure a story around.
Ooh, you should try coming up with something for next year, and then I can judge it.
Sure, yeah. Anyway, I have one more holiday movie coming up for this season, so come back next week to see why does Santa look like that? And if you can't wait until then, make sure you saw our video from last week about Coca-Cola and the art history of their Christmas holiday ads.
Who knew Coke needed its own holiday video? I sure didn't.
See you in the next one. Bye, guys.